just can't breathe.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake?
Welcome to my next video, everyone. That's right, we finally have the Dart. It was not a clickbait. The Dart is really here. You've seen the Trans Am, the Corvette, the Challenger, and now we got the Dart. Here to talk about it with me is... Hey guys, Louis there. No, get out of here. No one wants you here. Shoot. All right, it's just me for this video. It's my car. We're talking about the Dart. Let's go. Hello there. Today we're talking about my 2014 Dodge Dart Rally. The Dart name, this being a Dodge, actually came from the old Dodge Darts from the 60s era. They were sort of huge muscle cars. You could actually get a Hemi option in them. This is a successor coming after the Neon. You have the Dodge Dart. It went out and about, I think it was 2016, they stopped making them. It's no longer in production, but still one of the coolest compact cars you can get. Being a Dodge, it's sort of sporty orientated because Dodge doesn't know how to do anything else. Let's open up the hood and see what we got. Underneath the hood, we do not have a V8 of the old Dodge Darts. We do in fact have the next best thing. A 2.4 liter multi-air Tiger Shark 4-cylinder. So I actually really like this engine. We got about 180 horsepower, about 170 pound-feet of torque. It's actually pretty peppy. It's a good engine, naturally aspirated so you get good throttle response, no turbo lag. It's actually pretty awesome, and it has a pretty good sound to it. We've got the Mopar cold air intake, which by far the coolest part, it says Mopar on it in big letters. That's pretty awesome. It is a Mopar car, all right? And of course, the multi-air. Now this is the largest of all the engine options you could get on the Dart. You could get a 1.4 liter turbo and then a 2 liter naturally aspirated. We have the 2.4 because this is a Dart Rally. Coming along front, you can see we have this blacked out part here. A lot of Darts actually have that in body color. I think the black looks way better. This is actually a really nice spec'd Dart. Comes white, of course, but you may notice we have stripes. All right, these are not factory stripes, though I think it definitely should be. It is not a factory option from the Dart. I had them put on recently, actually, for my birthday, and I think it just makes the car look so much cooler. Like, it is a huge difference, and it stands out a lot more. There are a lot of white Darts, but this one's different. So this is actually a rally stripe. Racing stripe is you have two stripes the same color going down. This one is one large stripe and one offset stripe. That makes it a rally stripe, which makes it even cooler because we have a rally Dart. So coming along the side of the Dart, you can see my rather nice sort of bronzy wheels. I would like black wheels. I think they would match cool with my stripes. However, wheels are expensive and I don't have money. So please donate me money so I can have cooler wheels. You see the cool lines of the Dart. It actually comes up around the back here. It's sort of, so it is a compact car, like I said, but being made by Dodge, who makes the Hellcats, it's more of a sporty orientated car, all right? It's really neat. It's got a cool look to it. It's not a hatchback. It is in fact a sedan, but a subcompact one. It's not a big one like the Charger. Right, now at the back of the car, you can see our pretty awesome Rally 2.4 liter multi-air. That is actually the Tiger Shark engine, which is pretty awesome. I mean, how many engines have a cool name like that in a car like this? Just some more cool Dodge stuff. We also have the signature Dodge racetrack taillights. This is what this is called. It's like a racetrack coming around the back, and it's definitely one of the coolest parts of this car. I absolutely love how it looks, especially at night. It's really neat. You can also notice I had the stripes and right above the rear view camera. I don't like how the stripes look coming all the way down the bumper. In fact, I think it looks better just ending at this lip here. My opinion, my car. We can actually open up the trunk. I'll show you how it looks. All right, so you can pop it on the key or you can pop it inside. You actually have a good amount of cargo space in here, despite the trunk not really being that big. You can actually put a lot of stuff in there. And it's pretty cool, it pops open by itself. We've got the dual exhaust, which is pretty awesome. I mean, again, how many sort of economy cars like this have dual exhaust? I absolutely love it. Now, please join me in the back seat. You join us in the luxurious back of the Dodge Dart. Notice the fine materials coated everywhere, the white highlights inside. You're absolutely bathed in luxury everywhere where you look. You even have fold down cup holders, including a fully functional extra storage space, which can be put away for an armrest. Another cool feature back here is actually, you can reach the trunk from in here. Back here we also have 5-row seating. I wouldn't recommend doing 5-row seating, but it is in fact possible, as well as a sort of thing here for things. We also have very, very cool white stripes on the seats. So even in the interior, we have white stripes. All right, that's all I have to say. Hello there, and welcome to the front of the Dodge Dart. All right, we have a lot of cool things in this interior. I really like it. One of the coolest things is this red LED strip that goes all around the driver controls and the infotainment screen. It's really neat. It actually lights up at night. It sort of matches the rear taillights and goes along with sort of the red theme this car has. If you look at our gauges as well, you can see they're all red with white lettering. Even the middle screen is red. It's really cool look, especially at night when everything's lit up. It's awesome. I love how they do that. Looking at the screen, you can see as well, we have sort of red throughout the bottom, red throughout the top for our climate control. For our music, you have the red around it. It's really neat. I love how this screen looks. It's actually really high definition screen. Coming to the steering wheel, we actually have some buttons on here. We have all of our cruise control buttons for setting it and up and down. You don't have adaptive cruise control, but this still works fine. We have voice command button over here. You can actually tell the infotainment screen stuff to do, like play this song from this album. It's actually pretty cool. You have a phone button. You can call people on this. You can sync your phone up to it. You can Bluetooth it. It all works really well. We also have your up and down controls for the middle screen here. We have another screen in the middle. You can see we have our miles, our temperature, our speedometer, our trip odometer, range to empty, MPG, all kinds of stuff like that. Actually, speaking of MPG, I meant to talk about this. This car's rated at like 35 miles per gallon. I have never gotten that. This car has never been close to that. And I know I have a slightly heavy foot, but I'm getting about 27 after doing highway driving literally all day, and we're not getting close to 30 miles per gallon. But that doesn't matter. We also have buttons on the other side of the steering wheel. This one skips the buttons, or skips the music, I meant to say. You can skip the tracks, and this one adjusts the volume, so you don't have to go over here to adjust it yourself. Moving on to this host of buttons, you can see we have the defrosters, we have the AC, which actually works very well. It's very good AC. We have our fan speed, our temperature, traction control. We'll keep that on for now. And of course our hazards and some of the other dials. Now, one of the coolest parts of this car, and in fact this is one of the only darts I've seen, it's a manual. That's right, we got 3-pedal action, 6-speed manual transmission. I like this manual a lot. The shifter is awesome. It snicks into gear really good. However, the clutch is pretty hard to modulate. It's difficult to be smooth with. It's kind of weird, but the shifter is awesome. All right, so with all of that being said, let's take it for a drive. All right, right, here we go. Pulling out of the driveway into first gear. I love driving this car. I drive it a lot, and it never really gets old. It's just a fun car to drive. Here we go. So the gears are actually pretty close together in this car. 6 gear is not all that long. You can hit it at pretty much 50 miles an hour. You don't get a huge overdrive in this car, but that does mean you have close gears for high acceleration, which is what matters. As I said, the clutch is difficult to modulate, especially when it's cold out, so we can be kind of jerky sometimes. It's not my fault. Now, as I said, this car is awash in luxury features. Alright, we have the Rally, which means we have a good amount of tech in here. Like I said, we have Bluetooth, we have cruise control, we have all the goodies. However, we are missing one essential luxury item. And no, it is not heated seats. It is not cooled seats. It is not a sunroof. It is not electronic seats. We don't have any of those. The biggest thing this car does not have is one-touch down windows everywhere. I used to have that in my Focus, and I dearly miss it because you could press them all down and then they would all go down. You don't have to hold them. Same with one touch up. But that's my only complaint, honestly. The gear in this car is really well. The audio system is actually pretty nice. We don't have a lot of speakers. I'm not sure the exact amount. We don't have a subwoofer, but it sounds pretty good. I like how this car sounds. It's good. Also, not being the GT model, which is the highest model, we don't have the low profile tires, which I've come to realize is actually a good thing. They might look cooler, but we actually have a much better ride in this car without them. I've read reviews of the GT, which has profile tires, and apparently the ride's actually pretty harsh, which as a daily driver I don't really want. Also, apparently they're prone to really bad damage during potholes, which I don't really want, obviously. As I said, it actually sounds pretty cool in here. Now we did have the cold air intake, which makes it a bit louder. Actually, in the back seats, you can hear the engine really well, which is cool. But I would like to hear it up here a bit more. Now, everyone, I know you're all telling me to get an exhaust, okay? I don't want this to be a buzz car. This is my daily driver. It doesn't need to be obnoxiously loud. If I was to ever get an exhaust, it would have to be a subtle exhaust, just for some like backfires and stuff. But honestly, I don't really think I need one, in my opinion. As you can see, it rides pretty quiet when you're at low RPMs. We're just cruising in 5th gear. It's nice. I really like riding him. The seats are actually exceptionally comfortable. I really like these seats. They're not sport seats at all. They don't, have side bolsters or anything, and they are cloth seats, which I actually prefer. I used to have leather seats in my Focus, and oof, on a hot day, your back would get so sweaty, it's disgusting. However, we have nice cloth seats in here, and I like the white stripes on them as well. I actually really like the seats in here. The steering wheel as well, I think it's actually leather wrapped. It is leather wrapped. We have leather on the dashboard here as well. There was a good amount of plastic, but what are you gonna do? It's not a super expensive car. The steering wheel is awesome. After driving some other cars, this actually has a good weight to it. It's not heavy, but it feels good. It's like a good steering feel. I really like it. Again, continuing with this car's sort of sportiness. Here we are coming to my favorite road. Drop it down a couple gears. This car actually handles really well. Here we go. Oh, that's so much fun. Drop it down in 2nd, hard on the brakes. Woo. Up the hill. Power! As I said, it's fun to throw around. I go around exit ramps on this a lot, and it is good. You can push it, and it just takes it. It's actually a really good handling car. And of course, we're stuck behind the slow person. The bane of the dart. You think when you see a car like this with stripes behind you, you would get out of the way, but not everybody seems to. Oh, another cool thing I didn't mention, we actually have yellow or orangish daytime running lights. We'll have to put a picture up of that. They actually look really cool. They kind of make the car look menacing almost. It is still a Dart. I'm not saying it's super cool looking, but it's super cool looking. It is. It's no Challenger, but I like it a lot. And I'm not a huge Mopar guy either, alright? All you Mopar fanatics. This is a Mopar, and I like it, but I'm not a huge Mopar person. Driving along is pretty quiet. I mean, there are some rattles here and there. It's from 2014, but overall build quality, I think it's actually really well. I haven't had any issues with it ever. The screen can be kind of slow sometimes, but once you turn the car off and on, it's back to normal speed, which is actually really responsive. I like how it works a lot. And the controls are really easy to figure out. When I first got in this car, I had everything figured out within a day. Like, I haven't even looked at the manual. We've been fine, there's been no issues. This car is front wheel drive, so if you really push it, you can chirp the wheels in the second, which is a lot of fun. And in first, you can spin them a lot if you drop the clutch. We're not gonna do that because tires are expensive, and so are clutches. So we're not gonna try that right now. But as you can see, once the car's warmed up, the shift's really nice. You just gotta get used to the clutch, honestly. It took me a bit to get used to it, but this is also the first manual car I've ever owned, so hasn't been that bad. One thing we don't have on here is a rear windshield wiper. Since this is not a hatchback, we have a rear defroster, and that's really all you get. It works fine as long as you're moving at a decent speed. The water will just come right off, and who needs to see behind you anyway? So some of you watching may have never actually driven a manual car. And I definitely recommend learning how to drive a manual, because when you're not in a supercar going super speeds and having all this performance, having a manual is actually a big difference. Like in a car like this, if I had an automatic, it would be pretty boring. I've actually never been in one. I don't know if you can shift it. Somehow my Focus had sort of a weird button. You can shift the gears. It was all. That transmission was terrible, but I did like the. Anyway, what I was saying is, in a economy car like this, we got about 180 horsepower. You know, it's not all that much horsepower. But with a manual transmission, it makes it so much more fun. It's like driving a race car. You can shift the gears, you can play with the clutch how you want, you know, you can really drive it. And it's a lot of fun, especially when going around corners, because this car handles pretty well. So what I'm trying to get at is, this car has a lot of personality. And the transmission definitely plays a huge part in that. Manual transmissions in such cars, pretty awesome. There's a car show going on over here. Oh. Okay. Normally we know every car show that goes on around here. Okay, how about that? Some of you may be wondering, where is our local mechanic for this video? Our local mechanic is not local at the moment. He is doing actual work being a mechanic, not fixing our cars, so he's not here right now. I'm sure he'd have lots to say on this car. I'm sorry, Alan, but whatever. See what I mean? It's fun to shift. Pulling back up to our house. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this video. We're going to be releasing on Fridays now, actually. It just works better for everyone's schedule with school and everything. But my final thoughts on this car, as far as a relatively affordable economy car is, I think this is one of the best. There have been some complaints about quality. I haven't experienced any of that, probably because Alan is like our trained Dodge mechanic, so he knows everything about these cars and he keeps it well maintained. But it's just a lot of fun to drive. Compared to other compact cars, this is one of the best. Also guys, be sure to go check out Mr. Beast's video on planting 20 million trees. You each need to donate $1. He'll plant a tree for everyone. Go and do it. Trees are cool. Save the environment. I'm out. Hey. All right, guys. Actually, you have this blacked out part here. That is, no. No, that's too. And about 100 and, okay, no. Darn, we're gonna have to do that. Oh, yes. We do, in fact, have the next best thing. I've not been here in a while. Shut your door. There's my other side. What are you doing with my keys? But it's just a lot of fun to drive compared to other compact cars. Okay, that's our introduction. Is that gonna be weird? You can reach the trunk from in here. It's pretty cool. It's big enough, almost, for my head, which means you can get anything else through there. I didn't talk about too much stuff, but I think that's a good line. Anything else we should talk about? And also we have up and down for... Oh yes, okay, wait, no, we need to do that. We're done the video.